Welcome to the 716 Playbook, where every play counts. I am your host, Kyle Y, and I have a great show for you guys today. I am super excited to get started, but before I do, there's some news. We have some news. Well, if this is your first time tuning in, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Glad you're here. I hope you stay. I hope you enjoy the show. For you guys that have followed me over from my last couple episodes, this is a little different. I am no longer a part of the IE Sports Radio. It was a very hard decision that I had to make. But after a lot of reflection and thought, I felt like it was best for myself and my show if we moved on and we went on our own. There are no ill feelings towards IE Sports Radio or the IE Sports Radio family. I wish them nothing but the best. I have all the support and love. I am still following them. I am, I'm very grateful for the opportunity that they gave me. I didn't get fired. I didn't get kicked off or anything. I willingly left. I want to put my show above everything else. And I felt like in order to do what's best for the show, that's the decision that I chose to make. So, but that's okay because we have some very exciting things going on. I'm very optimistic for where this show is going to go. Like just today, I had this little logo right up here in this corner. That is the new official logo for the 716 Playbook show. Shout out to Alec for making that possible. Thank you, Alec. So again, optimistic for where this is going to go. I have a lot of cool changes going to start taking an effect slowly, again. And if you are not watching this live, if you're watching this later on, again, thank you so much for watching. Make sure that you follow all the accounts, make sure that you're commenting, make sure that you like the video as well. In the next couple of weeks, I will be going live on X as well. Right now, we are just live on YouTube. In order to go live on X, you have to have a premium account. So I don't have that set up yet. I will have that set up. X is kind of dragging their feet on kind of verifying my account. That's okay. But just kind of giving you guys all a reason of why my bio and all my social media accounts right now says we're going to go live on YouTube and X, but we're really only live on YouTube right now. Next couple of weeks, that will change. Make sure that if you haven't already, check out my other accounts. So if you're watching this through YouTube, which you are, make sure you're checking out my Instagram, the X account, and we're also on TikTok. Instagram and TikTok, I'll be posting here and there like little news updates. X is really primarily where I'm going to post like updates and news sources. But if there's ever like a show that I'm not able to get to, if there's an emergency, I can't do the show that Tuesday, I'll post in all the accounts. So no matter where you're following me, you'll get the news of the show. But X is where I kind of show like news of different Buffalo sports teams throughout the day. So major news I will be posting on all the accounts though. Also, Instagram and TikTok specifically, I will be posting like reels and different videos of the clips of the show as well, to kind of spread the love and kind of show other people that aren't watching the show live, don't have time to watch the hour-long episodes, that they can just tune in and watch the little short clips that I have going on too. So that is also coming. Obviously, I need to record my first video before I can clip it and post them. So be on the lookout in the next couple days too for that. So exciting stuff going on. And again, if you are new to the show, if you have not watched me before, the comment section is just as much for you guys as it is for me. So please comment wherever you're watching. If you're going to watch on X later on in a couple of weeks, please comment there. If you're going to watch on YouTube, comment. If you're watching it later on, please comment. I will try to show as many comments as I can on the show. Be kind, be respectful of everybody's opinions, of everybody's sports team choices. Look, there's no judgment here. But again, just be respectful, no inappropriate language when you're commenting. And I will, show it up. You have a question, you want me to talk about something, if I miss something. And if I miss a comment, follow my accounts, DM me through the account. I will make sure that I have it on there for the next show. Because again, this show is just as much for you guys as it is for me. So with that being said, our news segment is over. And we're going to go into a very short segment for the Bison. Look, the Buffalo Bisons, as our pro baseball team. And there's just a couple like updates that I have for them. It's really not anything special. The season hasn't started. There's not a lot of like off-season drama. But Micah Hyde, he is a safety for the Buffalo Bills. He will be having a softball charity. It's his 5th annual softball charity at the same arena. May 4th, tickets go on sale February 4th. So make sure if you haven't already gotten your tickets, make sure you get your tickets. Also, the Buffalo Bison tickets are now for sale and they're up. So if you want tickets for the regular season, if you want ticket packages, make sure that you do that as well. Opening day is only 65 days away. It's less than 65 days away. Now it's like 64 and a half days away. It's not 64 days away. So that is super exciting. March 28th is opening day. It's the earliest in Bison history. So again, make sure that you check that out as well. And I will be, once the season starts and there's actual news and updates, I will make sure to talk about it. Right now, there's not much, so I'm not going to be able to share as much with you guys. But with that being said, we are going to move on to the Bandits, the Buffalo stinking Bandits, who are absolutely killing it right now. We played the Philadelphia Wings at home in Buffalo, at KeyBank Center on Friday night. We won 19-14. It was we are now 5-0. Again, we are the only undefeated team left in the NLL. For you guys that don't know, the Bandits are the Buffalo lacrosse team. Look them up. They are electric. They are super exciting. You might be thinking, why are you talking about some pro lacrosse team? Well, because they are just as popular, if not more popular, than the Buffalo Sabres are right now, which is the major league hockey team in Buffalo. So that is something really cool that's standing out right now in Buffalo. They are doing very well. The next best team is the Wings, actually. They are 5-2. So, yeah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. We had a very, very quick start to the game, an offensive explosion in the second quarter. The Bandits had 10 goals, and we led 13-5 at the half. The Wings outscored the Bandits 9-6 in the second half, but we just had way too big of a lead that they were not able to come back and win. So, the Bandits are very, very impressive right now. Yeah, that's a lot of like the basic rundown of the game. Just kind of nitpick this a little bit. Josh Brinn had 6 goals in the first half. 6 goals in the first half alone. His performance was outstanding. He had 7 goals and 12 points overall. And Chase Frazier, his teammate, had only one word to describe his performance after the game, and that was magic. And if you watched, go back and watch the highlights. You don't even have to watch the game. That was absolutely magic what he's been able to do. Josh Brinn, his last goal of the game was it was the only goal of the second half. So he had the 6 goals in the first half. He had the 1 goal in the second. It was actually really impressive how he was able to do it. He underhand scored. His whole left side was completely cut off by the defender, and he had to switch sticks with his hand, move it to the right, and underhand it into the goal. It was really impressive. If you did not see it, go see it. It was really, really cool. Bryn now has 135 points to start the season. Only 5 games, 135 points. He's averaging 9. I'm sorry. Wow, I'm getting way ahead of myself. So Bryn had 135 points last season. He now is averaging 9 points a game this season, and he's on track to beat the record of 135. He's on track to about 162 points. That's what I did the math. That's kind of where my math, and I think there's like a couple decimal points, but obviously you can't have decimal points. So in sports, so I just rounded to 162 points. Either way, he's having a very impressive season, and he's off to a really good start. We play Albany at home in Buffalo at KeyBank Center on Saturday, February 1st. So that's not this Saturday. That's next Saturday. We play the next game at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. So they have a lot of time to rest. Good. Albany is currently 2-5, and they are currently second last in the NLL after the Toronto Rocks. The poor Rocks, man. They just can't do anything right. They have played 2 more games than us. Albany has. and they've only scored 2 more goals than us. So in 2 extra games, they've only been able to score 2 extra points than us in 5 games. So they do have a really strong defense. They have only allowed 77 goals in the 7 games. They're only allowing 11 goals. So it might be a lower point game. It might be heavily defensive. That's my prediction. Possibly a very low point game, but I still have the Bandits coming out on top. I think the Bandits will just kind of blow through Albany and move on to the next game. Even though it might be a low point, I think it'll still be a bulldoze game. So just be on the lookout for the Bandits. We are going to move on, though, to the University of Buffalo. We have a couple shout-outs for the University of Buffalo. So the academic All-MAC team, they kind of elect different players that have really good GPAs and good academics that are also athletics in our conference. They picked 12 of our football players. So 12 of our football players were chosen for the All-MAC team. Really impressive. And Red Murdoch, he is amazing. He was just named the MAC Scholar Athlete of the Week. He has a 3.46 GPA. Put that in perspective. I think that was better than my GPA for college. And he's an athlete. So not only was he juggling academics, but he was juggling athletics as well. It's not easy at all. And going to school full time, and being able to juggle that's really, really, really cool. We have a couple off-season signs already. So big news, our quarterback, CJ Ogbonna, there's some rumors floating around that he is going to enter the transfer portal. Makes sense. I called this right away. First episode, I called this. He scored 27 touchdowns and led the Bulls to 9 wins this season, and they won the Bahama Bowl. He deserves it. The kid deserves it. If he's probably going to go to a better team, and I get it. I really do. He wants to make a name for himself. Let him go on a run. I think the kid's got potential to possibly even go to the NFL. So something to look out for. We also, our tight end, Jake Orlando, he was just invited to the Tropical Bowl, which is like an all-star game. So that's really cool. He was the only player from the Bulls for our football team to be invited to that. So that's really, really good. I'll kind of keep an update of how his performance is. I'll let you guys know. We have two new player signs. Obviously, with the quarterback rumor mill going around, we did sign Taquan Robertson. He was a quarterback from Kansas State University. Kid's got some legs and he can move. He runs out of the pocket, he's gone. So that's something to look forward to. We also signed a linebacker from Harvard, Mitchell Gosner. So be on the lookout for that as well. And then we do have 2 coaching staff changes. We signed running backs coach Jordan Johnson as well. So welcome Jordan Johnson to the Bulls. Again, this is for football. Obviously, if it's a running back coach, it's not going to be for the basketball team. And then Chris Monfiletto, I'm going to pronounce your name wrong. I am very sorry, but you're our special teams coordinator. They both just signed the last couple of days. Super excited to see what they can do for us. So yeah, that's just kind of like some big news, off-season news for the football team. Now we're going to move into the team that actually matters for the University of Buffalo, and that is the women's basketball team. Wow. Buffalo, we are doing very well for the women's basketball team. We beat both Eastern Michigan and Miami University of Ohio. We are now second in the conference. We are right underneath Ball State. We are 4-2 in the conference, 15-2 overall. We won a 12-0 run to start the season. We're killing it. We are absolutely killing it. We beat Eastern Michigan 77-55. We outscored Eastern Michigan the first 3 quarters, and then the third, it was 25-8. So we just dominated them altogether. So we started out 20-13 in the first, and then we outscored them 25-8 in the third. It doesn't matter what the fourth quarter points were. We absolutely dominated that game. We did trail Miami in the first half, so it was 32-22 at the half. We came back. We outscored them by 3 points at the end of the third quarter, and then we went on a run in the fourth quarter, 20 to 5. We scored 20, they scored 5 points, and we won in fourth quarter. It was electric, and those girls fought very, very hard. Very proud of the women's basketball team right now. They're on a run. They're on a tear, and it's really, really exciting to see what's going on with them. Next game, they're playing Ohio University. They play on Wednesday at 6 p.m. at home. Ohio is 11th in the conference. They are 1-5 in the conference and 3-13 overall. They are on a 4-game losing streak, and they have consistently been beat 10 points or more in every loss this season. And that's generous because there have been a lot of 20-point losses, 15-point, 30-point, 40-point. So I was very generous to just say 10-plus points that they've been losing by. And then the men's basketball team, they kind of split. They lost Tuesday night against Bowling Green, but then they won on Friday night against Michigan. We're 10 in the conference. We're 1-4 for our record for the conference games, and then we're 6-11 overall. The boys basketball team just needs to pick it up. They need to probably go scrimmage with the girls, figure out what they're doing wrong. Bowling Green, it was close at the half. It was only 32-28, but they outscored us 47-33 in the second. I mean, they just got away from us. We never really held a solid league in the game. It was unfortunate. It really was. Western Michigan, they came out hard. First half, it was 53-39. Those boys, they tore it up in the first half. They got really sloppy in the second. I think they went into the half thinking, oh, we have a nice comfy lead. We're fine. We let them outscore us 37-32, but we still won. So I will take the win as the win. So next game is actually today, and I can do a score check for everybody because I know that is something to look out for. They are current. Oh, wow. So we play Akron. Akron is second in the conference. They're 5-0 in the conference for games conference, which this would be a conference game. Akron is currently beating Buffalo 24-5. So there's that. Not much optimism for that. Hoping that we can pick it up in the second, but that's not a good first half. 24-5, and we still have 12 minutes left in the first half. The game just started at 7 o'clock, so that's not good. At the end of the game, I'll kind of give you guys another heads up of where that game is at. But all right, cool. We're gonna move on. Luckily, there's some teams winning in Buffalo. Just not the University of Buffalo's men's basketball team. So that's unfortunate. All right. Well, here we are. In order to move into this next segment, I have a little guy that's gonna help me introduce this next segment, and that's this little guy right here, my little dumpster fire, because that's you know what that means. We're gonna be talking about the Buffalo Sabres. Oh boy, the Buffalo Sabres are not good, to say the least. Sabres did beat the Hurricanes last week, and then we lost to the Penguins and the Kraken. It's hard right now to be a Sabres fan. Sabres are 17, 24, and 5. We are dead last in our Atlantic Division in the Eastern Conference, and we are actually now last in the Eastern Conference. Forget about the playoffs. It's over. I'm going to wipe that off the table. We have a 0.7% chance. You guys can all say what you want, Kyle. You shouldn't give up on your team. 0.7%. It's not even looking slightly pretty at this point. I have a lot to say. Lindy, when the Devils got rid of you, you should have just stopped. Okay, you shouldn't have signed back with the Sabres, because clearly your legacy as the Sabres is now in jeopardy. What we thought would be a savior coach decision has now moved into a 17, 24, and 5. So at this point, boys, just play for pride, because you're not playing for much else. Hurricanes game was okay. There's some positive, okay? There's some positive. All right, I just went on a little bit of a rant. Now let's talk about the positive. The positive was being that we won 4-2. All right? There wasn't the third period, they did outscore us. We scored 1, they scored 2, but they scored all their points in the third period, so I'll take it. Ryan McLeod, he scored his first ever career hat trick. First shot happened 43 seconds into the game. Whoa. Okay. And then the second shot that went in happened 3.5 seconds left in the second. So Ryan McLeod had 2 really good with seconds left in both periods. And then the last, this is so interesting. So the last goal that Ryan got, Thompson, okay, shoots it. Okay, it smacks off the goal, does not go in, smacks off the bar, comes back, and Ryan McLeod barrels, grabs the puck, goes to shoot, and gets kind of blatantly slashed in the back, kind of like into the back by the legs from a hurricane. There would have been a penalty shot, but there was no goalie. So at first, Thompson was awarded the goal, and then later on after the game, the refs gave it to McLeod, which gave him his hat trick. So McLeod actually made history because he had 0 shots in the third period, yet he had a point. So on the stat sheet right now, there's no shots for Ryan in the third period, yet he had a point. So that was kind of funny. 6th time this season that the Sabres scored on their first shot. 6th time this season that the Sabres scored on their first shot. If I were to tell you that with no other information, that would probably tell you the Sabres are doing really well. No, they're not. They just love to tease us with a little bit of I don't know, hope. And then they shortly kill it. So Luukkonen had a great game. He scored 34 of his 36 shots. That's great. I'll take it. But then we're going to move on to the Penguins game. So that was after the Hurricanes game. We played the Penguins. We lost 5-2. Penguins had 4 unanswered goals. Luukkonen had 14 saves in the entire game. We scored in the first on a power play. Perfect. We were able to capitalize on a power play. Cool. Many penalties for the rest of the game. It just really hurt us. Put Penguins on power play a lot, and they scored off of that. Their goalie for the Penguins, he had 40 saves, scored a goal, and got an assist. I feel like I have to say that again. So their goalie, goalie got a 40 saves, scored a goal, and got an assist. We had 42 shots. They had 19 shots. It's so frustrating too, because like I'm in a predicament where like I have to talk about the Sabres week in and week out. How do you shoot the puck 42 times? So you shoot the puck 42 times, and I mean it baffles me. So long story short, we pulled our goalie. So obviously their goalie scored because we didn't have a goalie, but it was still only the 16th goalie in NHL history to score, and only 9th to do it in the last 20 years. So that's cool. Love that. Penguins are making history in the Sabres game against the Sabres. It's just frustrating, okay, to lose 5-2. We score first. We score on our first shot. I mean, I don't know. It's aggravating, but it is what it is. So lastly, we played the Kraken. We started our Western road trip last night versus Seattle. We lost 6-4. Okay, we lost 6-4. Sabres scored first. We scored in the first 5 minutes or so. Jack Quinn, great, love it. We scored. The Kraken score 27 seconds later. I think I'm going to say this literally for the rest of the season. What's going on with the answered shots? The biggest momentum shift that you see in an NHL game is when the other team can score like that. Well, that's what happened. Okay, we score first. First 5 minutes. Kraken score 26 seconds later. Okay. The Krakens then score twice and go up 3-1. That's great. Okay. All right. So now, all right, we kind of get the score back. All right. So it's now 3-3. A little bit of a comeback. Zucker and Thompson score. Then 56 seconds later, what happens? Kraken score. So we score 56 seconds later, they score. So 27 seconds later, and now 56 seconds later, 2 answered shots. I mean, it's super frustrating. Alex Tuck tried so hard. I feel so bad for this guy. It was his 500th career game. He tried to help us get a comeback. We score, make it 5-4. And then 17 seconds later, the Kraken score on an empty net. 6-4, game's over. 17 seconds later. So you're telling me 27 seconds later, 56 seconds later, 17 seconds later, 3 of our 4 shots were answered back within a minute. I'm going to leave that there. Okay. We play the Canucks tonight at 7 p.m. Back-to-back games. All right. Whoever makes the schedule for the NHL should probably be investigated. Not for game manipulation or biasism, just genuine stupidity. So we just get this straight. We have to fly from Buffalo to the West Coast. All right. We have to play against Seattle. Then we go to sleep. We wake up and then we have to play Vancouver. Okay. We travel to Vancouver, play against Vancouver at 10 p.m. Eastern. Okay. So I guess it would be like 6, 7, be 7 out there. Okay. But still, we're on jet lag. We're exhausted. We just flew across the country. We're away. And not only that, they haven't played since Saturday. So they had a 3-day bye. Okay. They had a couple days off. Cool. We have to play back-to-back games. I'm just going to be honest with you. Expect a loss. They are 20, 15, and 10. There's no way that we're going to be able to. I don't really see us winning, especially with the answered shots that we've been having. Please, Sabres, prove me wrong. It's so frustrating. It's really frustrating. Look, there's a lot that I can get into with the Sabres. I'm going to choose not to. All right, but that just kind of gives you an update. One more thing about the Sabres before we move on. The Sabres have only made one roster move since the start of the season. And it was just signing a guy on a waiver. Okay. At some point, the GM has to be held accountable. At some point, the management has to be held accountable. At some point, Terry Pegula needs to be held accountable. And you could be like, well, Terry's a great guy. He does a lot for the community. He does a lot for us. He loves Buffalo. I don't honestly doubt any of that. Okay. I'm not saying outside of his business, he's probably a great person. Inside of his business, as a Sabres owner, hold your upper management accountable. The GM has made one move. What has he been doing? As a GM, what has he been doing? Except going in front of thousands of people, if not tens of thousands of people, millions of people, getting laughed at across the entire NHL, across other sports leagues, and saying, well, we can't really make any moves because we're not a destination city. That's not true. Okay. Hockey players aren't looking for destination cities. All right. They're from Canada. They're not that concerned. They want to play for a good team. They want to play for a person, for a GM who's going to pitch them an idea like, hey, we're actually here to win. Not 17-24, signing Lindy Ruff to try to save us because he can't. It's just frustrating. Look, we are going to move in to the last segment of the night. The segment that I know everybody is waiting for, the Bills. Okay. Before we do that, I'm going to just take a couple-minute break. I need to cool down. No, I'm just kidding. But I know some of you might go to the bathroom. I've been talking for 31 minutes. You might just need a break from hearing me talk. You can go get a snack, just relax, sit back. You are watching the 716 Playbook, where every play counts. We will be right back. All right, welcome back to the 716 Playbook, where every play counts. Before we get into the segment, we have 2 comments. So I'm going to show both of them just because for the people that are watching, this is what happens when you comment. All right. From Mr. Hops, have a good show, Kyle. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. This is what happens when you comment, you get shouted out. Also, Paige, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate this very much. I appreciate that you think I'm killing it. We are about to kill it even more because we are going to move into the best segment of the night, the Bills. All right. So before we get started, we have some news. Before we talk about the amazing game on Sunday. So Mark Andrews, we will get to why Mark Andrews is so hated right now from the Ravens. It's absolutely astonishing to me that he's that hated. And I'll get into my opinions about that game. But before we do, Mark Andrews has been getting a lot of hate online, a lot of hate from so many fans, especially Ravens fans. If I'm talking to you, if you have been giving Mark Andrews hate online, giving him death threats, just being just absolutely despicable humans because he was a human. He made a couple errors in the game. Really, it did not come down to him or his 1 or 2 plays. But if that is the case, stop. These athletes put a lot of the game on themselves. Okay. And you obviously Mark Andrews feels terrible for the mistakes that he made in the game. I am going to tell you right now, he's probably beating himself up very, very hardly. It's just disgusting to just spread hate like that. Mark Andrews has an amazing charity for juveniles with diabetes. That's his charity. So today, the Bills Mafia, shout out to the Bills Mafia, they decided to start a GoFundMe for his charity. $30,000 goal. All right. It already has $27,736 raised. This is what happens when a true sports team fan base rallies behind a player, not even our own player. Okay. Mark Andrews, you have a lot of love. All right. If you want to come to Buffalo, maybe as a veteran, not really as a player, you're welcome. I would love to see you. I bet you some of the young guys would really benefit from hearing, what you have to offer. So if Ravens fans aren't loving you and treating you well, Bills fans are. Bills fans are special. We raised 92% of his goal already of this goal of $30,000. So look, over 1,000 people have donated. That's amazing. That is really good. One of the top donations. Trying to look, $200 from Bills Mafia. I love it. I love GoFundMe. Love that. So again, if you have money to spare, you feel like, oh, I got all this money from extra for bonus for Christmas, and I'm a Bills fan, and I want to go put it towards good use. Go put it towards juveniles with diabetes. Mark Andrews charity. Not only are you supporting them, you're supporting Mark Andrews too. It would probably mean a lot to him to know that there is actually a fan base out there that loves him, supports him, and he doesn't even play for our team. So crazy. Welp. My prediction of the Buffalo Bills winning was correct. The score might have been a little off. All right. The 35-21 did not happen. There's a lot that I'm going to get into with the game. I can do a little bit of a play-by-play. I'm not going to break the game down play-by-play, but I will kind of run down the game of what happened for those that did not watch. Our defense was strong all game. That defense proved me wrong. Boy, did it prove me wrong. And I wanted it to. That's why I said it, because I know, obviously, I bet you the Buffalo Bills, they watch this show, before they practice, as inspiration for guidance. I'm hoping, one day, maybe. I have been saying so much about stop the run, stop the run, stop the run. Well, guess what? In the first half, Derrick Henry, who ran 87 yards or 84 yards or whatever the play was, 82 yards. I don't know what the run was. It was 80-plus yards in one play, in the first play against the Bills on week 4. We stopped him for 8 carries, 21 yards. That's less than 3 yards a carry. 8 carries, 21 yards in the first half. Our D-line stepped up. the defense had such strong pressure on Lamar. It caused him in many instances to either throw it or run to the pocket quickly. Either way, Matt Milano's back. Not only is he causing pressure, but he is running them down. So just like I broke down with Bo Nix against the Broncos last week, this week, Milano just chased him down. I mean, beelined it, chased him down. They were able to stop the run, and I think that's what the game plan was. Obviously, Derrick Henry is a huge threat for the Ravens. You can stop a pass a lot quicker than you can stop Derrick Henry. I'm telling you, I really am. Especially if you watch that Week 4 game, it just wasn't pretty for the Bills. I'm really glad that we cleaned it up. So, just kind of give you a little bit of what happened. Bills win the toss. They defer. We get it at half, which means the Ravens start with the ball. All right. They march right down the field. Ravens score easily. Wide open receivers, long passes, just like we saw against the Broncos. They start up 7-0. Okay, Bills get the ball. We go on the field. We convert a 4th and 2. Ray Davis gets a touchdown, 7-7. All right, 1 yard rush, Ray Davis. All right, Ravens out of the ball. Damar Hamlin sacks Henry. And then Lamar, as shucking up as he is, he's like, what the heck is happening right now? That's exactly what he's probably thinking. He's probably thinking our entire game plan to run the ball is not happening the way we thought it would. Throws an interception. Taylor Rapp catches it. Bingo. Now, Bills have a very tough drive then, okay? They needed to capitalize. And this is what I'm going to say against the Chiefs. Okay, every forced turnover, you have to capitalize on it. It's not an if, and, or but statement. That is what has to happen. If you are playing in the NFL, you have to capitalize. Part of that means no penalties, okay? It's 2nd and 12 for the Bills, all right? We get stopped on a run play. Then a terrible penalty call is called on Deion Dawkins. It was bad. Go back, look at Deion Dawkins' penalty for holding against Baltimore. It was not a hold at all. Even like ESPN, I mean, the commentators were saying that's a perfect technique, and they called it. It was terrible. Made a 2nd and 22. Penalty for the Ravens, 2nd and 17, 3rd and 17, then we had a punt. So Ravens then started on their 9-yard line. Okay. Run defense gets a little sloppy. Lamar has a 16-yard run. Jackson then slips at the 50-yard line, makes it 2nd and 14. Then it's 3rd and 9. All right. I'm talking pressure on pressure on pressure. Lamar gets so pressured, fumbles the ball. Von Miller takes off with it, runs it. I think he runs it at least 30 yards. Bills out of the ball. Shakir has an amazing play. 1st and goal, Cook to the 1-yard line. Push with Allen, makes it 14-7. Okay, now Ravens get the ball back. Defense starts giving a lot more time for Lamar to run. Gives a lot more time in the pocket. At this point, I'm yelling. I've been yelling all game. I'm like, what is happening? Why is our defense kind of they get down the field very easily, but they are stopped. Henry's sacked, then Lamar is sacked. I mean, our defense held strong. 3rd and goal, comes a 4th and goal. They have to go for a field goal, makes it 10-14. Bills don't have a chance. All right. Ray Davis, 16-yard run. Ray Davis, 10-yard run. 3rd down. Tre'Davious White gets a pass interference right near the end zone. It's a 1st and 10, kind of barely outside of the 1st and goal. Allen on a 3rd and 2 play runs it into the end zone, makes it 21-10. Ravens have 16 seconds left at the half. They choose to kneel. Half ends 21-10, okay? Now the Bills have a really good opportunity here coming out of the half. They get the ball. They can make it an 18-point game if they want to. Terrible play calling starts. I'm going to be honest with you. Joe Brady, that was awful. Absolutely awful. We've averaged almost 9 points in the 3rd quarter all season. We got no points in the 3rd quarter. We went 3 and out. Okay. Ravens then start on the 36-yard line. Henry goes on for some big run plays. Defense starts slowing down. Bam. Every time our defense slowed down, there was one big play that happened. Epinesa gets a sack. And if every time there was a sack, every time that there was a stop to their game plan, I'm telling you, this entire team just fractured up. That's exactly what I saw. Fractured up. It forced them to then have to go for a field goal and make it 13-21. They could have very easily made it 17-21. Nope, 13-21. Bills now get a 1st down. and then they go 3-and-out again, and hit the punt. Again, terrible play calling. It's just awful play calling. Terrible play calling. It's frustrating. Stop doing the screen passes. Stop throwing behind. If it's 3rd and 8, 3rd and 7, don't pass me on the line of scrimmage. It's just bad play calling. I'm sorry, it is. If you're gonna do it, put like 7 blockers there because you need it. Apparently, because we couldn't capitalize. Especially against Baltimore's defense, it just wasn't gonna happen. Baltimore was really good at stopping the run. You think a screen pass is gonna do anything different? No, it's exactly the same. Ravens now have the ball. Justice Hill goes. Justice Hill gets 25 yards. Henry got 20 yards. Defense kind of crumbled, and this is where defense kind of crumbled in on itself. This was the only drive defense did not do very well. They get a rushing touchdown. They go for 2. They don't get it. It's 21-19. Okay, so instead of tying up the game, it's 21-19. Bills now have the ball. That we get a first down. Right now it's 3rd and 2. Bills give the ball to Ty Johnson for a quick first down. Then it becomes 3rd and 8. Then it becomes 4th and 8. Then we're forced to kick a field goal. So now we made the game 24-19. Okay. Ravens get down the field. Ed Oliver gets a sack on Justice. Okay, again, here's another exact same thing I'm talking about. So Ed Oliver gets a sack. Lamar then throws to Mark Andrews, who then gets a fumble. Who gets a fumble? What am I saying? He fumbles the ball. Bernard ends up punching the ball out of Andrews' hand. It was the best play of the game. I'm telling you, Bernard, the way that he just timed it up and was able to hit it out, it was really good. Bills now have an opportunity to capitalize on this 4th down. We are up by 5. It's 24-19. We just got a huge stop. This is the 3rd time this game that we have a forced turnover. Let's do something with it. Hollins gets a first down. We get to a 3rd and goal. Okay, so it's 3rd and goal on the 2-yard line. What do? If it's 3rd and goal, that means you have 2 plays, okay? On the 2-yard line, I'm with Josh Allen, I'm tush pushing it twice. Josh Allen usually gets 3 to 4 yards on a tush push. So why wouldn't you? Allen runs instead. What do? We give it to Allen. It's a quick QB play. Allen runs it down the middle and gets absolutely stuffed. 4 guys just took him. Now it's 4th and goal. Now what do? Because it was a really bad play. If it would have worked out, it would be like, oh, this is great. Yeah, but it didn't. It was a really bad play. I don't stand by it at all. We had to kick a field goal. We made it 27-19. We're still up by 8. I think that's a smart move. Okay, tie it up. Because even you force it, that they would have to not only get down the field with a touchdown with 3 minutes and 23 seconds left. Not only do you lead them with only 3.5 minutes, they now have to convert the 2-point conversion as well. After getting down the field, okay, they likely gets a touchdown. It's now 25-27. They go for the 2 points. If you watch the game, you know what happened. Mark Andrews has it in his possession, pretty much has it on his chest, and it's cold outside. It's a snow game. Ball drops. It's now 25-27. There's about 1.5 minutes left. Even if they would have gotten the 2-point, they tied up the game. We had 3 timeouts left. And there was over 1 minute left. We had 3 timeouts left. I mean, nothing was going to happen. In my opinion, I think the Bills could have still gotten on the field and scored a field goal, or we could have gone to overtime and won. We have no idea. Let's not even play that game. Either way, they have to kick an onside kick. Rascool Douglas gets it. Ty Johnson, because they have 1 more timeout left, we have to at least get the first down with 1 minute and 33 seconds left. We have to, with the way the math works, we have to get at least 1 first down. So Ty Johnson takes off, gets way more than 10 yards, gets the first down, game over. We kneel, we win. People online are blaming Andrews. Lamar had 2 takeaways. There were 2 takeaways from Lamar. That's the most in 1 game all season. So there were 3 turnovers overall. 2 were on Lamar. Okay, 1 was an interception to Taylor Rapp, and the other was a fumble on him. You cannot blame Mark Andrews for this game at all. Not only that, but the Bills kept them in it. So blaming Mark Andrews is the stupidest thing ever, and it just goes to show how coddled Lamar Jackson is in this league. Lamar played absolutely sloppy. All season long, I've been hearing no D-line can opt out this O-line. Not only that, but Lamar, even if the O-line crumbles, Lamar can run to the pocket. Lamar's great under pressure. Lamar's not good under pressure, let me tell you right now. Not only if you watch that game, but if you watch Lamar in any playoff game, that is the most pressurized game of the season. You cannot lose. Lamar is not good in a pressurized game. He tenses up. He is known to choke in the playoffs. Why are we still coddling this grown man? Okay. You might be thinking, wow, Kyle, that's a little extreme. Why are you going so off on Lamar Jackson? Is it because he's compared to Josh Allen all the time? No. I don't think we should be comparing Josh Allen to Lamar Jackson at all. I think Josh Allen is a better quarterback. I will die on that hill. That's not why I'm frustrated. I'm frustrated because Mark Andrews is getting death threats right now because he's being blamed for a game that's not his fault. Lamar Jackson was the reason why the Ravens lost the game. I will die on that hill. Buffalo Bills gave them 2 drives where we practically went 3 and out both drives. We did nothing. We could have gone up by 18 points at the end of the game after the first drive of the third quarter. We didn't. We kept them in the game. Lamar Jackson, you did a lot of things wrong. You had a lot of opportunities to capitalize, and you didn't. Blaming Mark Andrews because he fumbled the ball once when I'm honestly he fumbled the ball, or did Benford have a good play? Okay, so there's the one. The other one, it's freezing outside. It's the play of the season, and Mark Andrews drops the ball. You can't blame it on him because the Ravens shouldn't have been there in the first place. They shouldn't have been in that circumstance. So you can't blame Mark Andrews. Hey, Lamar, how's your 7 Pro Bowlers doing now? You guys enjoying Cancun? Good. Lamar Jackson has 7 Pro Bowlers. Josh Allen has 1. Josh Allen has 1 Pro Bowler. It's Deion Dawkins. It's not even a receiver. It's on his O-line. Okay. So many snubs this year from the Buffalo Bills, and it's disgusting. Not only did Josh Allen have a better season, we scored more points. All right. Not only did we score more points, Allen just went into a rebuilding season where we lost 7 captains, where we lost half the defense and a lot of the offense. We lost our star wide receiver. Well, guess what? Our receivers are doing just fine without Stephon Diggs. Thank you very much. Our team's doing just fine. This narrative is stupid. Lamar is an amazing quarterback, but stop comparing him to Josh Allen. Josh Allen dominated when it mattered the most. Okay. Not only did Josh Allen have a great performance, Josh Allen is now 5 playoff games straight without a turnover. Lamar, how's that streak going for you? No, it's not going great for you. Okay. Ravens have 3 turnovers in 1 game against the Bills. You can't even compare these 2 teams anymore. I'm tired of it. I get it. Let's compare them because they're in the same draft class. It doesn't matter to me anymore. The Buffalo Bills are easily, in my opinion, the better of the 2 teams. I said it all year. I went into this game hearing nothing but game is going to be really hard. It's going to be a really close game. And it was. The Buffalo Bills almost lost to themselves. But the Baltimore Ravens are not the better team just because the Buffalo Bills made some very, very grave mistakes. Luckily, the Ravens did too. The Buffalo Bills made a lot of mistakes. And I'm not going to, and again, this is where I'm going to come into this. There are a lot of things that I hope that they clean up because we have to if we're going to go up against the Chiefs next week. We just can't play the Chiefs and the refs next week if we're gonna have these terrible penalty calls on us. We're not watching what we're doing, and the play calling has to change. The play calling has to change. I love the pressure. I love the man coverage on defense. Pressure on Lamar was great. Stopping the run is exactly what we needed to do all season. Making them throw out early or making the QB run, that's what we need to do to Patrick Mahomes. That's how you win football games right there. You man coverage. You have Matt Milano as a QB spy. You win games. Neither team was perfect. I'll say that. We struggled all year on third downs. All year on third downs. Ravens converted a lot of third downs. Ravens converted 7 of 10 third downs. That helped the Ravens never punt once. The Ravens didn't punt once. The Bills punted twice. Okay, there you go. I'm telling you right now, I'm not biased at all. I will call it the Bills where I see it. Play calling was messy in the third quarter. Create better run plays with Allen. You have Superman as your quarterback. Use him, please. Make up design plays that are better than whatever that you're on the 2-yard line, on a 3rd and goal. If you're going to make him run, you better have something planned up better than just run up the middle, Allen. Because as Joe Brady sitting in the nice warm box up here, I can just say, hey, go for it. Let's see what happens. No, you can't do that. Defense was impressive. Offense was really good. And obviously, I'm going to say this. Offense, there was nothing really that bad about the offensive players. No turnovers, no sloppy plays. What was bad about the offense was the play calling. So I land that at Joe Brady's feet. Hey, Joe Brady, maybe you just won't be able to get a head coach job this offseason. Maybe you'll have to stay with the Bills. Oh, darn. I'm okay with that. I want you to stay. I still like you, Joe Brady. I just think clean it up a little bit with the play calling. Defense had massive pressure against Lamar, caused him to throw early, bad looks, forced Lamar to run it, and Henry couldn't run it much. We had a really strong D-line. Ed Oliver was an animal. I'm calling out Ed Oliver. You are an animal. You were on Lamar. Epinesa was on the runner. And Rapp, you were all over the field. Derrick Henry, overall for the whole game, had 84 yards, 16 carries. Justice Hill had 6 carries and 50 yards. We really stopped them. Justice Hill and Derrick Henry had less yards than Derrick Henry had all game against the Bills in week 4. Tell you what, I'll take that stat. We stopped it. We had the most man coverage since 2022. We played 46.7% of our defensive plays were man coverage, and it showed. We were on them so hard. I appreciate it. Thank you for listening to my podcast. Thank you for listening to my show, Buffalo Bills. I really appreciate it. One thing I also saw was there were no explosive plays. We ran the ball a lot. Josh Allen only threw the ball 22 times. He went 16 for 22. He only had 127 yards. I really hope if you bet again with the Bills that you bet the under for Josh Allen's yards. I think it was like 270 was his yards or over. He had 127 yards. He didn't even have half of what the spread was calling for. 127 yards, and we won with 27 points on the scoreboard against the Baltimore Ravens. I'll take it. We got a little beat up on the defense this game. Christian Benford is in concussion protocol. He got injured on the onside kick. He should be okay, but I'll keep an update about that. I'll be posting about that on my accounts. So again, if you want to stay connected, if you want news updates, if you can't watch the game, you can't watch live highlights at work, but you can quickly tune on X, on YouTube, on Instagram, on TikTok, make sure you follow my accounts. You can go to my link tree. It's linked down below. If you're watching on YouTube, I also have all the links down there as well. But also Instagram, X, TikTok, YouTube, they all have the news updates I'll be showing for you guys. So please make sure that you follow them. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Make sure you like the video. And if you're watching this afterwards, again, please do that. It really means a lot to me. And continue to watch, please. If this is what you're doing on your Tuesday night at 7 p.m., I appreciate it. Look, we got a little beat up. Taylor Rapp also exited the game early. He is day-to-day with a hip injury. We have confirmed that Micah Hyde will not be coming out of his veteran status to come play for Taylor Rapp. So that's a shame. But Bernard and Johnson both got hurt, but were cleared to return. Ray Davis came back from his concussion protocol last week. He played a really good game. Alec Anderson was limited with calf injury, and kick returner Cotterington, he was inactive with a hamstring injury as well. That's fine. Both those guys should be expected and maybe come back. If not, they're not like a make or break the team. A couple of things to look out for. Obviously, Christian Benford and Taylor Rapp being out. Matt Milano was off the field for the final few plays. McDermott did not know why. Even when he was asked yesterday, he has no idea. So I'm sure we'll find out tomorrow once the injury report comes out. I will publish that for you guys to see on all the accounts so that you guys know what's going on, who's limited, who's full practice, and kind of looking at like what's day-to-day, what's doubtful. I'm really hoping that we can get Taylor Rapp back on the field. He is huge. That kid is all over the field. He is forcing interceptions left and right. We really need him. Now look, before I end the show, we get to look forward, all right, to the AFC Championship game. Okay, I am very, very happy that we've made it this far. Not happy to see who we have to play up against. We are playing the Kansas City Chiefs in Arrowhead. It will be 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which means it'll be 9:30 Pacific. No, opposite. It'll be 3:30 on the Pacific Coast. On Sunday, it's going to be a drama-filled game all week. I'm really excited to hear what the hype is going to be. Yes, there's a lot of emotion going into this game. Bills and Chiefs in the playoffs. 2021, we met them in the AFC Championship. They won. 2022, we met them in the AFC Divisional Round. They won. 2024, we saw them in the AFC Divisional Round. They won. 2025, what's going to happen? Are we going to lose? Is our destiny is the Buffalo Bills, are we only as good as the Kansas City Chiefs? That's the question you have to ask. Is this dynasty that the Buffalo Bills have been able to create, is what this team has been able to do, can it be different from years past? Can we rewrite history and say, hey, the Kansas City Chiefs do not own the Buffalo Bills? We had some really tough losses, but we were able to surpass them and go back to the Super Bowl for the first time in 31 seasons. It's terrible. I'm gonna tell you right now, as a Bills fan, it feels awful to know that we have to play the Chiefs to go to the Super Bowl again. There's a lot of fans who are very optimistic and like, hey, this is what we needed, because we need to show everybody that we didn't have an easy we did not have an easy walk into the Super Bowl. We had to go up against Bo Nix, who I'm gonna give him genuinely, I'll give him credit. He's good up and coming quarterback. He was not a hard team to beat. The Broncos were not a hard team to beat, but we had to go up against the Ravens and the Kansas City Chiefs in order to go to the Super Bowl. If we have to play the Commanders in the Super Bowl and I have to hear, oh, you guys only won because of Washington, I don't even care at this point, because we had to beat Baltimore and Kansas City to make it. That's the narrative that I like. I don't like that we have to play them because of what history has told me. I like that we can have an opportunity to rewrite history. This is the problem. The margin of error is so thin when you play the Kansas City Chiefs because of the refs. You guys can think I'm the pettiest person ever for saying that. I'm not. There's no room for mistakes, turnovers. The game has to be too big to rig. It can't come down to the wire. We have to beat them by so much that even if they try to squeak back in, they don't have a chance. Even if the refs try to push it, manipulate it, give them calls, they can't. Because again, the refs can only do so much. Yes, you can blame the refs all you want, but at the end of the day, the Bills, I know, are better than the Chiefs, even with the refs. We beat them in the regular season. We can 110% beat them in the playoffs against the refs. But we have to come out swinging. We have to minimize penalties. We have to give the refs a reason to think, we can't even manipulate this even if we wanted to. We can't make this the Super Bowl everybody wants. Nobody wants to see. I'm sorry, but if the league knew what was good for them, if the league knew what the fans wanted to see, they would know that we don't want to see the Kansas City Chiefs in the playoffs. Nobody wants to see them in the playoffs anymore. It would be great to see the Bills in the playoffs. I talked to a lot of people that aren't Bills fans. Every single person that's not a Bills fan and their team isn't left in the playoffs, they're rooting for the Bills. Do you know why? Because Bills fans are great. The Buffalo Bills are great. Josh Allen is probably the most likable quarterback in the league right now. It's just annoying to continuously hear the narrative that we are owned by the Chiefs. We're not owned by the Chiefs. We have an opportunity to make something this year, to go for the run, to beat this narrative. Let's do it. Let's do it. Again, I have to be very careful. They've won almost every game by less than a touchdown. We need to be better than that. We need to come out swinging a lot harder. Be careful with Mahomes. No late hits, no hard hits, nothing that gives the refs an ability to even penalize us, even if they wanted to. So going into the game, Chiefs are only 1.5 point favorites. Last year, it came down to a field goal. Tyler Bass missed it. It was heartbreaking. If it has to come down to a field goal again, Tyler Bass, please make it. Okay. So, you lose in fashion like that. You lose in the 13-second game where the Chiefs had 13 seconds and they came back, tied it up, went to overtime. We didn't get to touch the ball and we lost. We constantly lose to the Kansas City Chiefs in very close, heartbreaking fashion. Please don't let this happen. Please. If you're going to get beat, be beat by a blowout. Please do not let that, don't let it happen. Don't let it all come down to Tyler Bass. Don't let it all come down to one kid. Don't let it all come down to 13 seconds. Have the game be so big that there might even be baseball cap Allen. Maybe we were up by so much that Allen just walks out of the game because we don't even need to play him anymore. That'd be cool. So the point total on the spread is 48 points. That's the over-under is 48 points. My point prediction is going to be way over that. I think it's going to be 35-27. I'm sticking with a 35. I like 35. 35-27 Bills. I think we beat them in the regular season. We need to beat them when it counts. All right. That's where I'll wrap up the show with. Can the Buffalo Bills finally rewrite history? Can we do it? And if we can, please do. I appreciate you guys all for tuning in. If you're watching this after the live, I appreciate you guys tuning in, to the recording. I'm going to make sure to post some of these clips from the video on TikTok and Instagram. I'm going to make sure to do as much outreach as possible with this show. I want you guys all to enjoy it. If you are in Buffalo or if you know Buffalo fans, please send this show to as many people as you know. This isn't just for Buffalo sports fans too. Obviously, you probably are more interested in watching it if you are a Buffalo sports fan. But please share it to everybody you know. It would mean a lot to me. This show only goes as far as you guys make it. The show is half about you guys. It's not just about me. It's so much more about you guys, giving you guys updates, giving you guys alerts, giving you guys news about what's going on. And if you don't want to watch the show every week, that's okay. Make sure you go and you follow. Stay connected on YouTube, X, Instagram, and TikTok. Make sure you check out the Linktree. It gives you all the links right there. Linktree is in the bio of every single account that I have. If not, just look up the 716 Playbook. YouTube is the only one that is just 716 Playbook. There is no the. Instagram, X, and TikTok are all at the 716 Playbook. Please and thank you. I appreciate you all tuning in. I hope you all have a good night. If you're watching this afterwards, I hope you all have a great rest of the day of whatever time you guys are tuning in and watching this recording. Appreciate you all. And I hope you guys all have a great night and go Bills.